in the frame. Okay, I'm nervous.
Let's get started.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's me, Frankie.
Hello, and I'm Cheyenne.
And together we are
Conbini Cult.
This is the first episode of our new podcast. We are foreigners living in Japan, so naturally our entire personality is about us living in Japan. So that's what our podcast is basically about.
Yep. I'm just here following your lead.
No notes.
Okay.
Since it's the first episode, we're still trying to figure out the structure of everything. So we're going to start with a Japanese word of the day.
Yep.
And a favorite word among many people is...
What is your word?
Kuchi sabishi.
Oh, tell me, what does that mean?
It's a word for when you're feeling kind of bored, you just want to snack on something, your mouth is lonely.
Yes.
Kuchi sabishi. Lonely mouth.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever experienced a kuchi sabishi recently?
Yeah. It's like a kind of like a stim in a way. Yeah, just something to do.
Well, do you eat snacks or do you just like chew gum? You personally? Snacks. Oh, what is your favorite Japanese snack at the moment?
At the moment, okay, well, Flamin' Hot Doritos are back at Family Mart. I don't know if you got the memo.
Those exist? No, I didn't know that. Why don't I go?
Go there.
Okay.
A classic is Karamucho.
Karamucho. Is that it's like really red rings that are really spicy?
No, those are like the habanero rings. I like those too. I forgot what they're called, but I like those too. Karamucho is like the sticks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know those.
They're like kind of spicy.
Those are good. I don't really look at the names of them. I just see the picture. I'm like, yeah, I know I like those, so I take them. But okay, Karamucho. Nice.
Yeah, so should we give a little intro about ourselves before we get into today's theme, which is culture shocks. Mm-hmm. But you need to suffer through our self-intros first.
Yes. Onegaishimasu.
Okay, I'm Frankie. You may know me on my social media as Franklin the Woman. I've been living in Japan for 7 years. My Japan-iversary was 2 days ago.
Congrats. Sorry, I was spacing out.
Thank you. It's okay. Yeah, I started out as many do, teaching English, and yeah, that's a good way to get started. Mm-hmm. How about you?
Yeah, so I actually came to Japan 7 years ago as well, teaching English. So I was one of those clowns teaching English for a long time. Still kind of a clown, but I really enjoy it. I'm not a big influencer or anything like that. I do TikTok, so maybe if you've seen my TikTok is Lost with Lo, I think. I'm not too sure. But yeah, that's kind of how Frankie and I met. We just happened to both live in the same city since a couple years ago. So now we're here. And
where is the city that we're in?
Where is the city that we're in? So it is a lovely day today in Osaka City. Where are we filming?
We are filming at the deck in Osaka. So
thank you.
Yeah, that might provide some context about our opinions. We're living in Osaka.
Yes, the best place in Japan.
Anyway, so yeah, let's get right into it. Culture shocks, which is, I don't know, kind of inevitable. Did you have any culture shocks when you got here?
I did and I didn't. So I'm originally from Hawaii, and we have a lot of like Nikkei or like Japanese, American people there. And a lot of the way we grew up is just a mix of all kinds of different cultures, like Asian, Hawaiian, I don't know, you know the gist. But anyway, so there's a lot of like things growing up that were really similar to Japanese culture to me. And I just grew up around a lot of Japanese people, both like from Hawaii and tourists as well. So when I came here, there wasn't anything about the lifestyle of Japan that shocked me. It was more just the way people conduct themselves. And what I mean by that is like a lot of the passive aggressiveness or like expecting others to like read the room was not a shock, but something I wasn't used to. Yeah. One of them. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I guess that stuff too. My initial impression when I first visited as a tourist was like, wow, everything is so organized. It's so clean. The public transit is amazing. It comes on time. So that kind of stuff. And then after moving here, I mean, I still think those things, but once you're living here and you're going about daily life, having to do paperwork, all the admin stuff, you kind of get like a deeper level of that. So I remember one of the first shocks for me was the banks. They, like the inside of the bank. So like you can access the ATMs most of the time. Actually, sometimes not late nights.
Can you not?
Yeah, I remember I was trying to take out money at a 7-Eleven and it was past 11 p.m.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Is that still going on? I feel like that's like such a long time ago. Oh,
yeah.
I remember running into that when I was here like 10 years ago as a student. But okay, good to know. Also holidays too. You can't use the ATM on holidays.
Yeah.
So
that kind of thing. And then in the in-person face-to-face part of the bank, it's only open Monday through Friday from 9 to 3.
Yeah.
So if you need to do some serious things at the bank, you might have to take some time off of work to do that if you work a Monday to Friday 9 to 5 type job.
Yeah, I feel like if you want to do really anything administrative, you have to do it. Yeah, during those hours.
Yeah, city halls.
Yeah,
but at least they're open till 5 or maybe 6 in some places.
Oh, so yeah, speaking of that and money, I just remembered like a culture shock I had when I first got here. So when I was studying here, that was 10 years ago. So it was a lot different. But the what is it called? Like how nothing was cashless here. Like everyone used cash, at least in my day. So when I was a student here, everything mostly was cash. And if you told the clerk like, oh, I want to use credit card, they were just like, what? So it is getting better, I feel like, especially with electronic money and PayPay and Quick Pay and all of those things. But it was a struggle back then, I feel like. Yeah.
So on a similar note, so I had asked on my Instagram for people to share their culture shocks. And there was a mix of people who have been here just for traveling, people who have lived here for a long time. So yeah, there was a really good mix of different types of people sharing their culture shocks. So one of the big ones was...
One of the big ones was what I learned in boarding school is...
I completely spaced out. What were you talking about that led me to where I am right now?
Banks, money, reading the room.
Cashless stuff.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
Okay. It's okay.
Cashless. Yeah. So a lot of people had said on my Instagram prompt about like Japan being a cash-based society and you need cash at a lot of places. But as you were saying with like PayPay, Quick Pay, all that stuff, it is getting better. Like I put my ICOCA, my transportation IC card on my phone, and there's a lot of places where you can pay with that. I mean, even if you have the physical IC card, you can still pay with that. So I would recommend doing that if you don't want to carry a lot of cash. So because of that and PayPay and these other like apps that you can use, I actually don't use that much cash anymore.
I definitely don't as well. But the thing with PayPay, I feel like, I don't know, is PayPay a thing also outside of Japan or Asia? I'm not too sure, but I remember, you can't really, if it's not, a thing outside of Japan, you can't use it.
Pay?
Yeah, use that. But PayPay, the way they like authenticate your identity is really, I don't know, it's such a pain. And I had to submit like my residence card here, and then it takes a couple of days for them to really verify that it's you, and it's a hassle, but once you get it set up, it is really convenient. And it's like Venmo essentially too, where you can pay your friends through PayPay if you like split bills and stuff. So PayPay is probably the biggest thing here.
Yeah,
for that. Yeah.
If you're living here, it's really convenient to have PayPay, but if you're just traveling, I think it will be too much of a headache.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could anyway without like a residence card or driver's license. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Yeah. So what are some crazy culture shocks? This list is insane.
Yeah, I got so many responses. So I tried to categorize them into, the first one I have wholesome / not offensive. The second category is mild. Third one is hot take. And the fourth one is random but funny. So
sorry.
Don't look at it yet.
I saw it. It's funny.
Okay. The wholesome, not offensive things, I think that's a pretty big list. So maybe we can go through it pretty quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you have any comments,
Yeah. All right. Sounds
feel
good.
free.
Cool.
Okay. Very quiet trains.
Yeah, I like that.
I really enjoy that too. Like coming from New York City, where the subway is so loud, people are listening to their music without headphones. It's a lot of stimulation. So being on the train in Japan is really peaceful.
Yeah, I just hate driving and was terrified of driving in the US. So I just love the train because I don't have to drive. So anything's fine for me. Yeah.
Cool.
Right?
Okay. Japan is very clean despite there being no bins.
I agree.
Or hard to find bins.
Yeah. Do you carry your trash everywhere?
Yeah, for a little bit, but I usually just look for a convenience store to throw it in there.
That's true. Yeah, usually convenience stores are pretty open for you to throw your trash. Nice. That is a good one.
Yes. Okay. Organization and rule following.
I like the organization, the rule following. Yeah, I've got some hot takes on that, but we can get into that later maybe. But yes, I like it. You?
Okay. Heated toilets and clean public restrooms.
Yep. That is a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, and on top of like the clean public restrooms, the way the door goes all the way down to the floor.
Yeah.
That is such a big one. And I don't know about other countries, but like for the US in particular, you'll notice
there's a huge gap on the floor.
Yeah, huge gap like from the door to the floor. Yeah, and in between too. And like, I don't know, have you ever experienced a kid like looking for their mom and they crawl under the door and they're like, Mama? Yeah, so I appreciate that about Japanese doors.
But you know, the one time it does like become convenient is if you run out of toilet paper or you need like a menstrual product or something, you could just say like, hey,
that's
do you
true.
have a tampon? Hey, could you pass me toilet paper? And put it under the door.
That is true. I'm going to give, the US the benefit of the doubt and say that is the reason why we haven't. Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, find the positive in everything. So yeah, passing toilet paper. Okay. On the note of toilets, that there's just restrooms everywhere. They're clean and free.
Yep.
So, have you been to Europe?
No. I've been to Spain a while ago, but that's the only place. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if it's like this everywhere in Europe because I've only done a little bit of traveling there, but they do have public restrooms, but usually you have to pay.
Oh.
Maybe like 50 cents or like $1.
Yeah, maybe
a euro or something or less, some change for it.
Or you have to like be a customer at an establishment to use the bathroom, or like
in the US.
Or even if you are a customer, usually you have to ask the person working like for the bathroom code if it's like one of those keypad things. Yeah.
This one is kind of funny. People save their seats at restaurants or cafes with random items. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it could be as little as like a hand towel or like a tissue or something. So
what do you use?
Usually my bag, because I always have a bag.
Yeah.
But I'll take my wallet and like important stuff out of the bag and just leave it there.
Yeah.
But this person also, they said specifically, didn't realize people saved their seats by putting random items. I thought they left their trash.
Oh no.
If it's tissues, I guess. But yeah, if you're coming to Japan and you see something on a table, like it's probably intentional. They're trying to save the seat.
Yeah. I've gotten so spoiled with the safety of Japan here. I usually leave like my laptop sometimes if it's like all set up. Yeah.
Putting money in a tray when you pay for things.
Oh my God.
Instead of handing it like directly and touching hands, they'll put it on a tray and
you hand it to them. They get your change. They'll put your change in that tray and hand the tray back to you. How do you feel about that? I feel very passionately about this one.
I kind of like it because I don't want to touch hands.
I see it for that. Yeah, I like it because when clerks are like giving you your change and you have to do like balance the receipt and balance the coins and you're like, ugh, and then put it in your wallet and then there's people behind you and you're sweating because you're trying to like get out of the way. Yeah, I like the tray for that purpose because all your money is there. You can put it away neatly, but sometimes I'll put it in the tray and then I've like forgot about the tray and asked for my change, like handing out my hand, and then they'll just put it in the tray, and it just feels like, I don't know, a big rejection in a way. It's really embarrassing. Or they'll do the opposite and just give it to me. So it's weird. Like, make a decision. There should be like a set rule of how you handle the tray. Okay, sorry.
Next. Okay. Next, young kids taking the train alone.
Yeah, as an American, this one still blows my mind, but it's really great that kids are like so independent, I think.
Yeah, I think it's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
No tipping. It feels weird not to.
I don't know. Trust me, when you've lived here for a while, it feels great not to. That's a hot take, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I work in a restaurant too, and it's just nice knowing that my wage is my wage and you get paid a decent wage per hour instead of relying on tips. So it is good and bad, but
Yeah.
no, it was a shock.
I like that system. It was kind of weird at first. Like, I'm getting my hair done. I don't need to tip. I'm getting my nails. I don't need to tip. At a restaurant, I don't need to tip. Yeah, I think it's better overall.
Yeah, I've left a tip when I first got here, and the
They
worker
won't take
chased
it.
me out of the store. Yeah, she thought I forgot my money, so that was really kind of her. So yeah.
Sanitary items or other personal items are packed in black or silver bags.
Oh, you mean the bag of shame?
Yeah. So the reason they do it is for privacy, so that people can't see through the bag and see the stuff that you're getting. But in a way, it does draw more attention to it because now you have this like
Dark bag.
that stands out more. This silver bag.
Yeah, that they do that with books too. When you buy a new book at the bookstore, they'll usually ask if you want to like cover the
wrap
book.
it,
Yeah, they'll wrap the book so when people read on the train or in public, no one really sees what dirty books you're reading. Okay.
Yeah, if you are buying personal items and you don't want it to be in a different type of bag or like no bag at all, just I'm good. That's no problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Call buttons at restaurants was a culture shock for someone.
Yeah, that is a big one. It feels like a little rude. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I think the call buttons are okay, but I always feel kind of weird when there's a bell.
Oh, and you have to
You have to like ding the bell. Or
ding
do
the
this.
bell, yeah, ring it, yeah.
Or have you ever been at a place where they have like a rubber chicken and you have to squeeze?
Oh,
the
yeah.
chicken
Yeah. Or like every table is like a different like instrument or thing. I like that. That's really fun. But
Yeah.
the bell it's simple, especially if you're shy about like calling people over. So
Yeah,
it is a good
I am.
system. Or the
Or
back.
like in the US, we're both from the US, so inevitably all of our comparisons are going to be from the US. But you have to do that awkward like make eye contact with and get the attention of the server.
Yeah. Or the opposite where, because we come from like tipping culture. So they come to your table like way more than you want them to, just asking like how you're doing versus the bell system. They just come when you would like them to. So that it is really nice. Yeah.
I like that.
Me too.
Okay, someone said how good and cheap the food is.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Especially in Kansai. I think I gained like 20 pounds in a year.
If there's
Or
any
10
complaint, it's that the food is too good and too cheap.
Yeah. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's good.
Okay, communal bathing and being naked in the onsen, hot springs.
Yeah, how do you like onsen or like bathing? You like it?
Yeah, I really like it. It took a little bit of getting used to because I also have a lot of tattoos.
Yeah.
So for the first few years I was living here, I thought like, well, I can't even enter anyway because a lot of places don't allow you to enter with visible tattoos. That's a whole other story. But when the first time I went, it was kind of awkward, I guess. I'm like, oh, so we're all naked. But nobody cares. Everybody's just like thinking about their own relaxation. So.
If it's a tattoo friendly onsen and then you're the one with tattoos, they might be like, oh, or if you're the only, non-Japanese person in there, they might also like stare. I would say out of curiosity more than anything.
I think it's mostly out of curiosity.
Kind of just like, how'd you end up here?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on in men's onsen. Maybe it's different, but usually in the women's onsen, they're like,
yeah.
Okay. And like, yeah, that's fine. Okay, somebody said the sheer amount of people.
Yeah. I think that speaks for itself. I don't know. There's a lot of people. It's a tiny country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to Shinjuku Station, Ikebukuro Station, Shibuya Station, at rush hour especially, it's like a sea of people. So many people.
Yeah. Not a fan.
Another person said, bus etiquette. I embarrassed myself by standing up and going to the door on my first time at the bus before it stopped.
Oh.
Yeah, for safety reasons, of course, they're going to advise you to like stay seated until the bus comes to a complete stop. So yeah, people don't rush for the door. So sorry you were embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
People patiently waiting in the queue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, can I say something about that?
Yeah.
I know I have a comment for everything, but I think Japanese people, like, yes, they wait patiently, and I'm so appreciative that like you line up properly here.
Mm-hmm.
But also, don't you feel like people are notorious here for like lining up because there's a line? Like they see a long line and then they're like, oh, well, what? They're lining up and that thing must be good that they're lining up for. So I think I should line up. I think that's the only reason why people line up sometimes.
I wonder if there's a word for that.
Well,
if there is, it's going to be our word of the day next time.
Yeah.
But
look out for it next time. Yeah.
Okay, now we're getting into the mild category. Someone said, no small talk.
Yeah. Do you like small talk?
No.
Oh.
That's one reason I love living here.
Oh, I love small talk. And that's one reason why I didn't like living in Tokyo. And I love living in Kansai. Okay?
Yeah, they're much more talkative in Osaka.
Yeah.
Okay, going to the doctor. This person says, in my country, doctors take the time to check your entire body. So, yeah, have you had any experience here with a doctor, like rushing you out?
It didn't feel rushed, but I also didn't feel like I got, what do you call it? Like looked over, like evaluated, a thorough examination. Yeah. Like, I injured my knee pretty bad and I think it required like an x-ray or an MRI at least. And they were just a little like, yeah, well, it's a little swollen. So, yep. Goodbye, I don't know. So unless you're really, really pushy about your symptoms or you go to a specialist, I think, they brushed it off pretty quickly here. I felt the most like that way when I went to the gynecologist in Japan. I'm getting really stuffy, sorry. But yeah, which can be maybe a discussion for another episode because, there's a lot that goes into that. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the doctors I've been to, like the clinics are really busy, so they can't spend that much time with each patient.
Yeah.
And a lot of them take walk-ins, they don't take appointments, so that kind of adds to the rush. Yeah. And then there's been a few times where I'm like, especially when I was a teacher, because, people are getting sick all the time and the viruses and bacteria spread really quickly in the schools. So there was one time where like, I don't know, somebody had like strep throat or the flu or something. And I went in, well, the flu is not a good example, but I went in and I'm like, I don't feel well. And a lot of people at my school have this thing. And the doctor's like, yeah, you probably do. Here's medicine. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. How modest the fashion is.
I think if you're a modest person, then that's fine. Again, I'm not so much, so it took me a long time. It took me a long time to be comfortable just wearing what I wanted to wear and not thinking about like if others were like looking at me. Because at the end of the day, no one cares. Especially I feel like recently, when I was a student, people were really like open about making comments. I'm like, wow, like what's a crop top, But like, I don't know. Fashion has really opened up. I feel like still very modest comparatively to other places, but
yeah. I've seen a lot of crop tops.
Yeah. Recently. It is what it is. Wear whatever you want. I don't know. No one cares. No one's looking.
Yeah. Okay. Many restaurants close between lunch and dinner.
Do
that
they?
Might be like a 3-hour period.
Oh, where they're like Junbi to like they're preparing for the dinner slot. Yeah. That is frustrating sometimes.
No, excuse me if people bump into you. It depends where you are. If you're in a super busy train station, I guess, because you might be bumping into a lot of people. So it's like, you're going to waste your breath saying, excuse me to everybody.
Yeah. But, that it does bug me when in the train, for example, if someone is trying to get through, they really just push through.
The salary man,
yeah,
shoulder checking you, elbowing you.
Yeah, so like
on
I don't
purpose.
know. Yeah, for me, I just say move at least. I don't know, say something so I know to get out of the way without being pushed. But
Yeah.
personal preference.
Even sometimes when you're shopping at the supermarket or I don't know, at Daiso somewhere and the aisles are really narrow, a lot of times people, like if they want to pass you, they won't say anything. They'll just try to
Oh yeah, they're
slide
like
by.
yeah, they scoot through. I started doing that too. yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to say something, but if they don't hear it, then I'm like, oh, I have no choice. Okay. All right. People not wanting to use tissues in public, so you hear a lot of like snorting.
Oh, you mean me now? What?
You can use a tissue.
I don't have any tissues, but yeah, that is a thing.
Okay, strict last order and closing time at restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really make exceptions.
Mm-hmm. Which, as now that I like work part-time in a cafe, a restaurant, I really appreciate because yeah, if the store says they close at 10, maybe get out of there at 10, you know? So I don't mind that one.
Okay. Somebody mentioned something about smoking rooms, which I don't smoke, so I don't know what goes on in there.
Me neither.
But they said smoking in small rooms where you almost can't breathe.
Oh yeah. If you see, sometimes the smoking rooms have like glass doors too. So it's like a little cage of people just smoking in there. And like, yeah, it must be really uncomfortable. So I get how like, yeah, that must suck if you are a smoker.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It is nice to like not have places that are like smoking rooms. I don't like, are there still cafes that have a smoking room and a non-smoking room? Yeah. So that's still very old school, I feel like.
Okay, someone else said to be almost the only woman in a bikini at the beach.
I feel you, girl. Yep.
Yeah. If you have been to beaches and swimming pools here, people really take their sun protection seriously.
Yeah.
So people will be wearing like rash guards or they'd be more clothed than what we are used to in the West.
Yeah. But if you're going to wear that bikini, wear that bikini. Get that tan.
Where would you
It's
want?
hot. Yeah.
Okay, staring.
Yeah.
It is.
Do you get stared at a lot?
I don't know, because I don't make eye contact all the time.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah. People.
Maybe.
It's a bad habit people have here for sure, I think.
Seeing a live lobster vending machine in Sakai.
Vending machine?
A vending machine.
What, like, and you can get the lobster, like, live? They're just chilling in a tank in a vending machine?
We're going to need more context for this one.
How does it come out?
Or we're going to have to go to Sakai to investigate.
Yeah, actually, that's, like, not too far from us. We should actually go, yeah. We
Sakai
can do some
is
research.
in Osaka.
Yeah.
It's a southern city in Osaka. Okay.
We got some research to
Maybe.
do. All
Okay.
right.
Expensive fruit.
Oh, yes. No matter how much money I'll make here in Japan, I'll always think fruit is expensive, except for bananas. That's the only affordable fruit. I feel like, yeah.
Speaking of fruit, people think it's weird to eat the whole apple.
Oh, yeah, like
So,
like as is, like biting
like
the
with
apple.
skin on it too. Because a lot of people will peel it and then cut it.
Mhm.
So yeah, if you work in an office or something and you just whip out an apple and bite into it,
Yeah.
people might be like,
Oh, yeah, no, I did that in front of my boyfriend, and he looked at me like I was a monster. Not anymore, but he was like, what's going on? Yeah.
religious festivals like Christmas are not holidays.
Yeah.
It's a regular work day.
Yeah. Clocking in every Christmas.
Yeah, people get excited about it, but it's not, well, because Christianity is not like the major religion here. So.
Yeah.
The speed limit is pretty slow.
Yeah.
They say. You drive here, right?
I used to drive. I used to live in Chiba Prefecture for 5 years, and where I was living, you needed a car. Like the trains were pretty inconvenient, and I can't really compare it to like driving around in Tokyo because it was like the inaka, so the countryside. But yeah, I mean, if you're comparing it to like, again, U.S. reference, but California, for example, it's very slow for sure. Yeah.
But the roads are really narrow, so I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of narrow roads that can only fit one car, but it's a two-way road.
Yeah.
So when people like come to a head, like somebody's got to back up
Oh yeah.
and move out of the way.
I've fallen into the rice field a couple of times because we were both trying to scoot past each other. And we like, my friend turned a little too much and our car just like into the rice field. So
get out.
there's
like a tow truck?
Yeah, like a tow truck. And again, it was the countryside, so everyone was really nice. And it's like, obviously it's not a rare problem for them there. They were like, like, pull us out.
Again.
Yeah. So it's fine.
Did you know that washing machines only use cold water?
Maybe like standard washing machines or older washing machines, because my washing machine has hot water and I can change the temperature settings.
Okay, give us the make and model because we need to know.
Yes, my boyfriend bought it.
Okay, it can be difficult to live or travel here if you have dietary restrictions. So like gluten, someone said they have a seafood allergy. If you're vegetarian or vegan, like it can be difficult because they often like cannot change the menu.
Yeah, Japan's getting better about like vegetarianism and like vegan options as well. But yeah, before
and halal options.
Yeah. But before, I've known a couple of vegetarians where they like, just for the inconvenience of it, like they gave up, or they just ate like fish at least because they couldn't really have any other options to eat elsewhere or something. Yeah.
This one, I don't know why I put it in this category, but it kind of made me laugh. Like being on the escalator, like you choose one side. Usually it's, in most of the country, it's the left side, but in Osaka, it's the right side. But this person said, it was so hard to switch to the left side of the elevators and the long lines to go up single file. Now we're on to the hot take section. We don't have as many for this category, but they should be interesting. Yeah. So people not giving up seats on the subway if they're sitting in the priority section.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes, okay. I sit in the priority section if
it's fine.
If it's pretty like crowded, or there's no one, if it's not that crowded and I just want to sit down. And of course, when it starts to get busy, I move.
You get up if somebody needs to sit.
Yeah.
I think, isn't that like the rule of the priority section? Like sit there if it's available, but if someone else needs it, they have the priority.
Yeah, and it is really like upsetting too, because sometimes not even the priority seating, just the regular seating, I'll be, sitting down and it's pretty crowded. There's no other seats, and maybe like an elderly person will come in, or a pregnant woman or whoever. And, I'll get up and I'll offer my seat to them. And a lot of times they're like pretty shocked. I don't know. They refuse like 2 or 3 times before I'm like, sit down, it's okay. And then they're like, oh, okay. Or sometimes they're just like, nah, it's fine, So, yeah.
But a lot of people don't give up their seats. They just pretend to be asleep.
Yeah.
And there was an elderly couple that I used to teach English to. And they told me like they really hated going on the train because nobody would ever give up the seats for them.
That's not nice.
And there's a YouTuber who is living in Kyoto. His name is Shogo. He said that like when his wife was pregnant, like it just made him so angry that people would not give up their seats even when she was like really heavily pregnant. People wouldn't get up out of that area.
Yeah. And even like, just speaking of pregnant women, you know how they have like a special tag here too. So even if you're like not showing it, it indicates like, maybe you need to sit down and things like that. And people still don't get up. So that is really frustrating, I think.
Paper forms to get internet, paying bills, and cash in person.
Yeah.
If you're living and working here, you're going to have to encounter paperwork at some point. Maybe even a fax machine.
Yeah. The paying for your bills in cash in person, I don't know, as someone who's really bad with like electronic money or credit cards, because I don't see it. So it just exists somewhere kind of to me, that's like a really bad habit that I have. So I personally like that. Okay, it is time for me to pay my electricity bill. I will prepare this money and pay it in person. That keeps me accountable. So I like that system, but that's just a personal preference. How about you?
I don't like it. I wish it was just automatic and that you could check it sometimes, because yeah, sometimes I lose the papers.
Yeah.
Or I don't have enough cash on me in the moment.
Yeah. That is true. It is also like intimidating if you first get here or you don't speak, Japanese enough to know what all of these papers coming in are for, especially for pension in Japan. Usually they'll send you like a year's worth and it's just a stack
Health
of
insurance
like,
too.
like bills essentially where it'll say like the month to pay.
Well, you could pay it all at once if you have the money.
Yeah, but
you have to remember to go every month to pay.
Yeah, so that is a hassle, but yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Okay. Someone said very little chivalry.
I think it depends on the person, of course, but I understand, where that is coming from. Any comments? No.
Not really. Okay.
Oh, this one's in all caps. I'm very excited.
But I don't know why I put it in all caps. So hair loss. It's not spoken about a lot, but I know so many people who suffer when they arrive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did that happen to you?
Yeah, and I think finally
you're here. You're still here.
I'm still.
When you arrived.
I think, yeah. It was weird where the city I was living in at first. Yeah, my hair just started to shed like crazy. I mean, I have like longer hair too, but I just noticed a difference like after washing my hair, how much hair was coming out. It got really bad, and I started using special like hair products, and I think it was the water maybe. And I don't know if it's the water everywhere in Japan. I feel like that happens a lot here, especially to women who come here first. But yeah, finally after a few years of like developing like a good hair routine, it's not as much. Yeah, it is a lot thinner, I feel like. Yeah. How about you?
I don't know. It's hard to tell because my hair was already fine. So I'm not sure. But I do hear about that a lot, about like the hair loss from maybe the quality of the water. It's like hard water or something. Yeah,
it is really hard. And so on top of hair loss, like my skin broke out really badly too until a few years ago. Same. Yeah. So like I just had like really bad like cystic acne for the first like 3 years living here. And then I moved to a different city and it kind of switched up where my skin cleared up really well, but then like my hair started to like fall out more. And living in Osaka, I don't know if it's just like the building I live in is like newer or whatever, but both have gotten progressively better. So that's been really nice. It could, just be hard water. Also stress. It's very stressful to live in a foreign country, I feel like, and environmental change and all of that. But it is nice to know we're not alone in that. I don't know. I thought it was only me, so. Yeah. Sucks, though.
All right, big one. The work culture. Very intense, long hours.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a day off, even though you have... Well, I think actually the vacation days are kind of minimal compared to other places, especially European countries.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Europe is also just like very long compared to everywhere else. But yeah, I think it depends like what job you're doing too. Because when I used to be in ALT in a public school, and we had like good time off. I mean, you still have to go in during the summer vacation time, like so kids didn't have class, but you still had to go in. So like that really sucked. But comparatively, like the regular teachers, they were working until like 10 p.m. or something. I went home at my designated time, which was 4. But yeah, it is really intense. I would say obviously more so for Japanese people. They're just expected to work more and it does suck,
Yeah, there's less expectation for us. But if you have a Japanese partner, Japanese friends, then you might see them working a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Here's an interesting one. The lack of soap in public restrooms and people not using the soap if it's there.
Yeah. Before I make a comment, do you have any experience with that or seeing that?
Yes, I notice that all the time. And I think it's probably worse in the men's restroom.
Yeah. I don't really want to think about it. I think COVID really has helped people like get back into the habit of like washing your hands for like at least 20 seconds or something with soap and water. But yeah, I've been in the ladies' restroom here too and just noticed like them not washing their hands. And I've made a comment.
Not even rinsing?
Yeah, like they don't, or they just do a quick little like you know?
Mhm.
And I've been like, oh, that was quick. That's probably shady of me to like say, but they were like, oh, the water's too cold. I think in the winter, especially, like there's no like warm water in the bathroom. So maybe they just think it's too cold. I don't know. I'm not going to get into the details, but yeah, it is a thing. So, but also like hand sanitizer is not a big thing here too. Like, you know, like how we used to have like Bath and Body Works hand sanitizers or like portable hand sanitizers
Yeah.
to
I
like
don't
carry
think a lot
around
of
at least.
people carry
No.
their own.
No, so they have it like in buildings and stuff, but yeah, that was an interesting one.
Also, the lack of paper towels, someone mentioned.
Yeah, but I like that. I don't know, save some trees, carry your own handkerchief.
Yeah, I think most people carry it around like a little hand towel.
Mm-hmm.
Me, yeah, I have many, but do I ever remember to bring it? No.
No.
So I'm just wiping on my hands.
Jeans. Yep.
Ooh, this is, I don't think we can go too much into this one. Socially ingrained and accepted misogyny. Okay, moving on.
Any comments?
No comments.
Maybe we'll take some time later, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And our final category, very short but sweet, random but funny things that people said.
What is
Somebody said their culture shock was the farting and the burping.
like the lack
Where?
of? Because I never like seen it
I have not heard.
like in public. I'm very curious. I'm like
Yeah.
such a, I don't know, overly obsessed with like farting and poop, and my humor is like a 12-year-old boy, but yeah.
I don't really hear it. So I don't know. Whoever left this one, please give us more context. Or if you understand what they mean,
The farting and
please
burping.
explain.
Yeah.
Someone said, I haven't been to Japan till now. That's the biggest shock.
I mean, it has been closed for many years from COVID, and
Yeah.
I feel like Japan has also always been a popular destination, but like recently, probably because of social media, like TikTok and all of that, I don't know. I feel like everyone's trying to travel to Japan for whatever reason. So
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
popular destination this year. So yeah, hope you get to visit.
yeah.
And the last one is someone just said the biggest shock was going back to their home country.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reverse culture shock.
Yeah. When was the last time you went back home?
2019.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It-
I might try to go back this year.
Yeah. Me too. So 2019 was the last time I went home, and then I went back last year in October, I think. Not to like my hometown, but I went to visit family over in like San Francisco Bay Area. And yeah, that reverse culture shock is real. And I didn't realize like how expensive the US was. I know Japan's going through like Eiyasu, the weak yen now, but it is insane. And going from like, 5 years of no tipping to tipping for like everything, in the US was pretty intense. And I don't know, it just felt really expensive everywhere I went. Yeah. But it was fun.
The small talk got me when I went back. Like I was getting a cup of coffee and the lady was like, so how's your day going? And I'm like,
You're like, me? Who?
no! Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We took way longer than I expected with these culture shocks.
Yeah.
Just had so many good answers. I wanted to share as many as possible.
And thank you for submitting. That was way more than I thought. So yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you for Frankie for making the poll. Yeah.
Yes. The next episode has a very good prompt. So
Oh, okay. I'm excited.
yeah. I did want to speak about a little current event. You may have heard that the geisha district or parts of the geisha district in Kyoto is now being closed off to tourists because of unruly people chasing them, throwing things at them. Like
Who?
it's very upsetting. Not that it's getting closed off, but the reasons why they had to come to this conclusion, because I don't think they wanted to do that. It's just kind of like, what else can you do in that case?
I had no idea about that. Like they're closing it off indefinitely?
I don't know if there's details about how they're going to do it or how they're going to enforce it. But what I was imagining was just that, like, maybe some places will be gated off and you can get a trespassing fine unless you have an appointment and you have a reason to be in there.
Yeah. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Especially me personally, growing up in a place that has catered to tourists and has, grown off of tourism their whole life. Don't be an asshole. I don't know. Like, that's my only comment about that. Sorry, but don't.
You would think it's common sense, but
what are you doing? I don't know. Be respectful everywhere you go, even if you're traveling or living there. That just really upset me that people are throwing things.
Yeah, like a cigarette butt or something. Why would you do that?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna get really heated. So, but that sucks. That's really unfortunate.
That could be another topic in the future.
Yeah. Please be respectful. Let's find you. Okay.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, the last thing I just want to mention is some honorable mentions of what we almost named our podcast.
Yes.
So we eventually decided on Conbini Cult.
Yeah.
Because I think that's pretty inclusive. Hopefully that wouldn't offend anybody.
No. I don't think we have any people who are in actual cults watching.
I don't know. Give us your feedback on it. But the honorable mentions for Memoirs of a Gaijin.
Which we know how some people feel about the word gaijin. So
it can be used in a derogatory way. So we decided to not do that one. Loser Back Home Pod. If you are unfamiliar with that term, it's basically somebody who was kind of unpopular in dating back home, but then they come to Japan and suddenly they're exotic.
Yeah, so, definitely not us at all.
Not you. You can get it anywhere in the world.
Oh, thank you. You too, though. Thank you. Yeah, that was a fun one, though. I did really like that one as well.
Yeah. Something about Japan being our personality, but that is kind of long. Those are the ones I thought was kind of funny. So, I guess that's all the time we have for today. Let us know what you think of this. We're definitely open to some feedback and suggestions. May your Nihongo be Jozu.
Jozu. Bye. There's a ghost. You know why? Did we not plug this in? Do we need to plug in the thingy? That was my number one fear.
You are a genius.
Okay. You can delete that ghost track.